So many blessings to you out there. I thought I'd share a simple way to clear negative energy, denser energy, stuff that just kind of sits uncomfortably in your home or in your space. So there's many different ways of doing this, but I'm going to show you a simple way so somebody at home that may not know a lot about how to do deeper clearing work. This is a simple way to clear a space, to lighten the load, to elevate. You may notice in your space where there's certain areas in a home, a certain room, maybe even a certain part of the land that you don't feel as comfortable in. You want to get out of there, or you don't want to spend a lot of time there, or you notice that it's a lot of clutter in a certain space, or what other reasons? Oh, if you notice that you always seem to get in a fight with your partner in a certain room, the kitchen, the bedroom, etc. These might be signs, and are often signs that something needs to be shifted in the energy in that room. Absolutely, it's important to take responsibility for yourself and your emotions, etc., and how you communicate them. But there also are contributing factors. There's contributing factors in regards to what the space and how it's supporting you. So there's systems like Feng Shui or Vastu that will arrange a space to help support the energy moving fluidly. From a shamanic perspective, there's other tools that can be used to just clear the energy, to integrate it, to rebirth it, and then to activate and lighten it, to actually truly connect your home, your land, your space to the light. So I'll give you a few tools to be able to do this. So I'm going to take you through a simple process of that. The way I start is, first I'll just track through a space. If like I was hired to clear a house and actually go through the full process of activating this couple space. And the first thing that I do is I just kind of go in, walk the land, I walk the home, and really just get a sense and a feel of the energy in it, and also the sense and feelings that the people who live there have. So if they notice that they don't get along in a certain space, or they avoid a certain room, or don't feel inspired in a certain room, what can we do to transform that? So I'll first suss it out, and you may just kind of just sit with what, how does your space feel? Once I go through that process, then and I'm getting ready to clear, and the intention is now I'm going to clear a space. The way I'm going to teach you today is, first you want to open all the drawers and cupboards, anything that has a door or a hinge on it, you want to open those. And then open all the windows and doors, as many as you can, so you can actually clear the stuff out. So if you don't if you keep all the windows and doors shut, then what will happen is you'll move the energy around, but it won't have any place to go, so it'll just likely go up. You start at the bottom floor, and as you might have already seen in my hand, you grab some sage. You light that sage. I'm not going to actually light it today, but I use sage rather than Palo Santo for this aspect. You light the sage, and you really bring that to a good fire, so what you have left is a lot of embers. I'll do it, what the heck. A lot of embers and a lot of smoke. I'm going to get a little bit of this going, and you want that smoke moving. Ideally, everybody else is out of the house, including your pets, so the energy doesn't glob on to anybody else. Some will say wear black. That just kind of helps to be a bit more invisible to some of the energies. You can wear a hat. You can also wear other ceremonial wear that may support you. If you have a certain necklace that covers the third chakra, that's a good thing to wear as well. And you light the sage, and you get it really pumping, and you have a bowl or some sort of tool that you can hold it in. And then you have a rattle in the other hand. And what the intention is your intention, you set a very clear intention to, this is an intention to clear and clean the space, the first level of the clearing. And you go through the room, and it's not just walking nonchalantly. There's a very clear intent. Whatever negative energy is in here, it's time for you to go. And you just imagine like a wall of water just pushing that energy out through the door, out through the window, and you walk through the room. And I just kind of do it in segments, so I just imagine moving through a third of the room or a quarter of the room and clearing the space. And then I come back and I keep going and I keep clearing the space until I've got the whole room cleared. And then I just imagine walls of light just covering the space that has been cleared in comparison to the space that hasn't. So then I'd go into the next room, and then I'd keep clearing out through the doors, out through the windows, all the way through the house, starting with the lowest level, because the energy is going to naturally want to move up and out. Sometimes there's other energies that need to be cleared that are not going to probably be in your probably go out with ease and grace, meaning more fluid energies or spirits, etc. So I'm not going to teach how to do that. That's a lot more in depth. But once you clear the space, you go through the whole house, you clear it with the sage. Then what I would do is I would go back through and I would bring in a form of Florida water. This is one from Peru. I also have a few different ones that I make that are easier on the mouth. But essentially, if you notice as you walk back through the room, or you notice that there's always cobwebs in certain corners more than others, or just certain occurrences that have happened in certain areas, and you want to clear that out, you just get a little bit of Florida water, and you spit it with the intention of clearing that space. So I go up and down, or down and up, and move it out through a window or a door. That one's strong. Now my cat just left because that's intense. That's an intense taste and intense feeling. But you want to clear that energy, so you clear it with the Florida water. After that, after I've cleared a space, so that's the clearing. That's a simple clearing way. I'll get a coal. This is a Peruvian way of a coal. And I'll put an incense on there. This incense is a balancing incense, a masculine, feminine balancing incense. And you just simply put some of that incense, you light the coal the same way. My intention when I'm moving through the second piece is bringing harmony, balance to the space, integration, harmony. So I am harmonic with the space, with the land, and I'll walk through the house or walk through the land and just be moving that and doing either the rattle or a chime. And I'll just be inviting in my support system of love, light, and oneness. I'll be invoking my support system. I'll be speaking with the land and the house, and just asking the house and the land anything that it needs for us to move and live in harmony, so I may walk and be in harmony with you. You may hear that there may need to be a specific ceremony that's done for the land or for the home. That's a little bit out of the realm of this simple guidance. But there may be a ceremony that needs to be done, or some sort of offering that may need to be done on a regular basis. I suggest doing that. So then once I've gone through, I've cleared it, I've brought in the aspects and intentions of harmony and done whatever needs to be done to harmonize myself or the owners of the property to be in alignment with the home, with the land. Everything's alive, so even though we see a home and all we see is often we'll just see that it's a dead home in a way, it's actually really alive. It's a living, vibing being, and it loves. Its energy and intention is to house you, to hold you, to support you, to give you life force, to deepen in your joy, your purpose, and expansion. So treat it like a living being. Treat it with honor and respect. So when you clear it, you're clearing it not just for you, but for the home. As one friend stated to me, he's like, Native Americans, they constantly were packing up their homes and moving, so it naturally, the space was cleared and regenerated. We live on the same space, or somebody else moves in and lives on that same space, and it's never revamped and regenerated. So our walls start to hold more and more denseness, especially if we're watching a lot of TV, or the people who lived there before didn't get along, or there's so many different stories of the density that we're bringing in from outside will start to hold in those walls. So we want to clear it. So we clear it, we harmonize, we do whatever's needed to really align with the property, and then we want to connect to the light. So a simple way to connect to the light. If you're not doing ceremony, you might want to vibe your place with selenite. This is the highest vibration stone known to me, at least, but said to be the highest vibration stone that's on the planet right now. Through people who are really into stones, they'll know this. It's like every decade or so, or maybe 10 to 20 years, the earth births a new stone that has never been known to man, and that stone is usually the stone that is needed to support us in that next transformation, that next piece of humanity's growth and communion with the earth. And selenite happens to be that stone right now. Really high vibration stone, doesn't need to ever be cleaned or cleared. I use this, I'll put this in by the doors or at the windows or at my sacred space. I'll sit on this for meditation with a bolster on top or something like that. If you set it out the doors and just imagine that being like a door of light, that's just an invitation for the light and the love to come in and the negativity to stay out. What I use specifically to just kind of return to sender any negative energy coming towards a home or towards my way, I'll just breathe into obsidian and make a very clear intention. Any negative energy being sent my way, sent towards this home, may it just be returned to sender. Not sending any malice, any negativity back. We're not here to create more karma. But what I am doing is just returning it to where it began, just reflecting it back, but not getting involved in any power struggles. And that's ways to create a little bit more light. You could put a crystal, using crystals with very clear intentions around. I'll plant them in the land around a property or around a door that has had challenges of people coming in, and I'll plant them in the earth. Say around a door, two plants. Have a plant on both sides of the door, or just some earth. You get single terminated crystals. You plant them in with the point moving down, and you have just a little bit of space and opening at the top of the crystal coming out. And you just visualize a rainbow of light going over the door or over the property. And it's just a very clear intention. May whoever steps onto this land or through this door, may they be of love of light. And if they're not, may they return to where they belong. So if you include both of them, return to sender and the love and light, you've got yourself a property connecting to the light. If I do the whole land, I'll often put a crystal on the home as well, with a point going up, connecting to the light, rooting down into the earth, energetically, visually connecting to the light, and then all of the crystals on the land from the corners connecting to that point, and the whole land is then surrounded by light. These are powerful tools. So if you align with energetics, if you align with noticing that there's just density in the air, density in a room, simple clearing, simple harmonization, simple connection to the light. If you don't want to go through all of that technicality with the light, just light a candle. Before you light it, breathe your intention of connecting to the light and breathe into it. Set the candle down, light that candle, and then every time that you're feeling it starting to lower the vibe, just relight that candle with intention. Namaste to you, many blessings, and look forward to seeing you next week. Ciao.